Hey friends, it's Johnny with Gray's Garage, and this hunk of junk is my 1974 Challenger, and this is going to be our first look at this car today. Alright friends, like I said before, this is a 1974 Dodge Challenger SE. I got it 2 months ago, towed it home in the dark. It's been under a cover, and rain, and snow, and freezing temperatures for about 2 months. This is the first day I've taken the cover off, and we're going to really look at this car top to bottom and see how much of a piece of junk it is, and start making a to-do list on what we need to do to get this thing running and driving again. Alright, this Challenger, let's do a quick walk around here. It's got a new bumper for some reason. The guy told me he put new fenders on it. I don't know if that was 10 years ago or not, but they do look newer than 1974. The car is original B5 blue. It's a 318 car with air conditioning, automatic, console shift. We got some rot and rust in here. Looks pretty bad actually. Doesn't look like it's ever been tried bondoed on, but that's not great. Goes across the whole bottom of the door. This rocker here is paper thin. Look at this. That is gonna need more than a little love. The end of that door. The gap across the bottom looks okay. This gap here at the quarter panel looks way too wide. The door's all the way closed, by the way, and I can almost get my pinky in that gap. The side glass looks good. All the rubber is junk. Rain's going right through there. The front windshield is cracked. It was that way when I got it. But all the trim is here. It doesn't seem to be particularly dented or damaged or pulling up in any way. It's got the original chrome mirror on it, all pitted. We don't care about that. This quarter panel, the guy said he replaced as well. And again, I think that had to have been done in the 80s or 90s. And my guess is he didn't do it correctly, and that's why that gap is so bad. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is, not sure if you can see that. That's where they underlapped the new quarter went under the original metal and riveted it. It looks like riveted, maybe spot welded. I don't know if the camera's picking up on how really terrible that is. Here's some rivets here. Rivets. And then they did a ½ inch of Bondo to try to cover up this really terrible seam here. I'm sure you can see that. It's not good. But the quarter itself is good. It's got some surface rust. But no, there's a little bit of rot down here at the ends. It's not dented. The roof looks good. There's no holes or dents or look like any paint cans, or doesn't look like anyone stood on the roof. Looks like original paint. Just fading out really badly. Like I said, the side glass is good. Let's see, does the door open? Oh. That's as far as this door opens because it's stuck on this quote-unquote new fender. That's also really bad. You see I'm sitting on flat tires. That's okay. Oh, here, look at this. That's might be part of the problem of the door hitting this fender is only has one bolt that's not even tight. We might be able to shim that, at least in better shape, so that door will open. Man, that looks really bad. This fender's in good shape, also not wrecked or dented, and just looks like it came out of the box. Black. Let's head back down here. Rear glass is in it. I don't see any cracks. It also has all the trim still snapped in really tight. This pan across the back seems okay. These corners here seem okay. So this is more of this inch of Bondo. Maybe you can see that where they underlapped the new replacement quarter underneath that old pillar, I guess that's called. And it looks like rivets to me, but some of them they're not there anymore, or it's a spot weld. I can't really tell, but it's atrocious. Tail lights, it's all there, faded out, rusted. Bumper is not horrible shape. It's not rusted or surface rust. It's not dented or rotted. These big 1974 ugly bumper guards, they have got to go. This trunk, I was told, does not open. The key does fit it and turns the lock, but they think something in there is keeping it from closing and or opening all the way. So I can't even get in there today and show you what it looks like. The bumper gap seems to be the same on both sides. It's got this plastic thing in here. Came from the factory. Ugly. But it's there. It doesn't look like it was wrecked or pushed in on either side. Oh, here's a hole. Pretty good size hole too on the driver's side. And see, on this side they've replaced the quarter as well, but this side they put the quarter over the original car and spot welded and or riveted it. It's kind of hard for me to tell actually, but this side's overlapped the pillar, the other side was underlapped, and this fender, this quarter seems to be in much better shape. The door gap looks better. Is it rotted back? It's not rotted back here, like the other side. So this side looks better by like standing next to it. Let's see if this door guy is pretty wide up here, but the rest of it seems doable. Well, that one opened up very easily. Look how thick that door is. I don't know how to make sense of all these numbers just yet, but I will look into it on the .com. I'm sure all my Mopar friends and followers will tell me what that means, but it's all here. Oh, look at this door. That's great. The door panel is, I thought it was spray painted. Now I just think it's sun bleached blue panels, and the sun bleached it out really bad because it's not paint. From the pictures it looked like it was paint. Here's the rockers. Here's where they put in the new quarter. They spot welded there, probably not nearly as many times as they should have. There's some more rocker rust. Look at that. I think that's a ½ inch of Bondo. It's almost as wide as my finger. It's probably, I don't know. It's not good. Rear floor panels. Well, there's the drive shaft. They did tell me about that. The floor pans are exposed, and they look surface rust, but not horrible. They're there. Nope, there's a hole here. right underneath the driver's seat. But these old weird plugs are still there. They're not rubber plugs. It's got a screw in it holding down a little half circle. The seat itself looks really good shape. No rips, no stitching coming out, nothing. Rear window looks good and dry up there, which I'm kind of shocked. There's no headliner. You can see that came down who knows how long ago, and I'm kind of happy someone already did it. That way I won't get any of that crap in my eyeballs. They left the bows here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Challengers have 4 bows, I believe, and they're all here, still in place. So I don't ever need to buy those. That's pretty cool. Dome light still there. I have no idea if it works. The car doesn't have a battery in it. It's got the visors. Driver's seat's ripped, but overall, really just the bottom. The top looks good. Passenger seat looks good. No rips or steering. And this door, same thing. It's more blue than the other side, but I think it's just the sun bleached all this out. The dash is cracked up, like pretty much every other Mopar in existence. All the pieces are here. All the dash. I don't know if that's a rally dash or not. This isn't a rally car by the VIN number, but it's a pretty cool dash. All the buttons and stuff are here. I have no idea if they work, but they're here. Nothing's been robbed, I don't think. Heat AC switch, pedals. Emergency brake does work because we parked it here. They told me they replaced the front floor pans, but I wasn't expecting this. Again, I guess I should have expected it now. They just set in new floor pans over top of the old ones. And there's a screw, sheet metal screw. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if there's any 3 screws. Maybe one in this corner too. Nope, not one there. 3 screws. They put in a new floor pan with 3 sheet metal screws, and I mean, it's not good. Look at that. I'm wondering if the original pans are still sitting underneath of it. We'll find out when we get the car jacked up, I guess. It's got the shifter. I like the T-handle. I think some guys don't like that, but I like the T-handle. That little insert had better days. The glove box lid is gone. Has the ashtray. I have no idea what that goes to. And look over here. Passenger seat floor pan, the same thing. They put a floor pan over the floor pan. And let's see how many screws this one has. I'm not seeing 1. Oh no, that one's a rivet. Alright, well maybe they riveted this. There's 2 rivets. Not many. I can see light up here at the top. So they ran a new floor pan up to this spot, and there's a gap. It's got silicone or urethane in there. Well, the floor pan is replaced, but I'm guessing the old one is still under there or just rotted away. The tunnel looks good. Underneath, what I can see underneath this console, it looks good here. That floor pan looks really good. The seat belts are here. The door handles are all here. Let's see if they roll down. Oh yeah, they do. They roll all the way down. That door, it's got to weigh 300 pounds. It's like 6 inches wide at the top and wider down at the bottom. Just the back window down. Back window.
I don't know. It's getting stuck. Probably not gonna go down. Let's see if the driver's window goes down. Oh yeah, it goes down all the way too. Pretty smooth. Lock. Kind of scared to lock it. Might not be able to get back into it. See if this back one rolls down. Ooh, that needs. That is not. Both back windows went down like that far. Oh, this feels like it'll fall out of there. I'm gonna try to put that back. Ooh, that's disgusting. This little catch thing is here, not cracked. A lot of the Mopars I've had have cracked around here from the door hitting it in the wrong place for years. It cracks it, but that looks pretty good and solid. You can see these ugly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spot welds, and it looks like they went right over top of the original quarter. We should look under here, huh? Well, I'm under the car. Got shocks, a bunch of rusted suspension. These leaf springs, I mean, they're barely there. Got brake lines. Like I said, the emergency brake works. I don't know if the actual brakes work. The car doesn't run. Maybe I should have mentioned that. Drum brakes in the back. I was kind of expecting that. Big tires, man. I think I looked at them when we got it towed here. They're 275s under here, and they're probably from the 1980s as well. Let's look at this trunk pan. I just saw this when I peeked under here. We got some holes over near the frame. The frame itself, other than surface rust, I don't see any rot or holes in it. There's not like a big hunk missing or anything. The shackles, the shackles are just shot, but they're there. This cross support frame area looks pretty good. Rusted, but it's there. All the I think that's the fuel line or the fuel vent, or maybe these four are the vent lines. I don't know, but if you look in there, they're full of something. I'm pretty sure, yeah, those are supposed to be 4 vents, and that one should be the fuel line itself. But these, I mean, that can't be really good. I don't see any holes on this side of the trunk pan. The frame looks pretty good over here. I mean, good is relative, I guess. Muffler, shocks, again, some of the rot on the end of this replaced quarter panel that they did. You know what I'm not seeing in here? The inner fender. The inner fender here. Can't see it here. Oh, it does have an inner fender.
I can see where they... Can you guys see that? They just overlap that, and I think I see remnants of a couple rivets where they just welded that quarter panel over and then riveted it to the inner fender. But it's pretty toast. See that gap? I could put my hand in there between the inner and the outer. I don't know how close they're supposed to be originally. You can see a little more of the rear frame where it goes up and over the axle, and no holes. No, I'm looking for holes and I'm looking for cracks. Trunk pan we know is bad. I'm also now looking up at where the rear seats are. Passenger seat floor pans. They look pretty good. I don't see any holes. I can see that frame continuing on. I don't see any holes in any of the like subframe or the floor pans. This stuff. I don't even know what that thing. Oh, that goes to the sway bar. Oh, this car has a sway. None of my cars have ever had a sway bar in it. I wonder if that's original. Maybe you guys tell me in the comments. Did 74 Challengers come with this stuff already on it, or did someone add it? Does this look normal? It looks janky, and it's a bit different than my Duster, but similar. So it's probably original. Alright, I don't know. We'll figure it out. You see up under there, frame rails, pretty good. Well, look at that, I can zoom. That's the emergency brake cable that I pulled, and it actually did stop the car. I'm guessing that's the little plug for the sending unit. My Duster had something similar to that. I thought it was 2 wires. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember. Well, it's cool it's got an 8 3/4 in it. I don't know if I was expecting that for a 318 car. But it's got one in here, so that's cool. It does roll. We had it towed here, but all the tires, you could fill them up, even though it's on flats now. You can fill them up, and the car does roll pretty easily with 2 guys pushing it. Let's go look under the hood. Something I just noticed. I didn't notice this before. In all honesty, the back wheels are kind of nice. They're like faded, but they're not rusted at all. It's got all 4 lug nuts. None of them are locking, which is really nice. It means we can actually get that tire off of there. But they don't match the front. I don't know if those were original options or just something someone threw on there. Maybe you guys can tell me that. These back ones for sure didn't come from Dodge like that. Some sort of race, almost like center lines, that kind of look. But those maybe were an option in 74. I don't like them at all, but again, they're not terrible. They're not bent or rotted out. I bet they'll clean up and spray paint black pretty decently. But the car sits good for having flat shocks and flat leaf springs. And I don't know if the camera is making this car look better than it is or worse, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Here, let's look at the front end here. I can see that this trim here is broken. Oh, look. That's plastic. I thought this was chrome. I thought this was a chrome trim around these headlights and these ears. If you can see that looks plastic. Or it is plastic. It's got a brand, this bumper had to have been straight out of the box before they gave it to me. It's that shiny. I don't know why they would do that. waste money like that, but it's got that 72 to 74 grill, which is not the coolest, but it's still pretty cool. It's got a new front valance too, like the fenders, quote unquote, front fenders that are quote unquote newer than the car. This front valance looks almost straight out of a box too. I mean, it's dusty, but it looks like a brand new front valance. Or valance. I don't know the proper way of saying that. But it's probably brand new. Again, I don't know why they would do that. That's okay. This side, look at this. See that before you? Either this hood is really bent because it's not sitting over here proper. It's not. But this side, actually, the gap and the fitment is pretty good. So maybe it's the hood, or maybe it's the fender, or oh yeah, right here. It's like spring loaded up, but look at the gap. Oh, it's touching all the way up here. It's touching. It does have the cool like RT hood. I'm not sure if that's the same as like the 70, 71 hoods. I don't know much about Challengers. It looks like it. I don't know if it's the same one. It's got the Dodge on it. You can see the O's broken off, but it's there. I think these things here used to be turn signals and would light up. I'm pretty sure they did that. Let's pop this hood. It doesn't have a pull cord inside. I already looked for that. I think it's, here we go, to the right. There we go. There's some sort of tab here. I'll show you that. It's different than my car, my Duster. When I popped the hood originally, I was looking for a push tab. It doesn't have one. It has this thing, which then pulls that, which looks just like what's on my Duster. It's just so far away from the end of the hood, it's hard to, I guess they had to extend it. What a weird, did they come like this? This seems not right. Alright, here's the engine. Right away I see the original style Mopar compressor. It does have the suction line on it. It does not have the discharge. It's okay. It does have a 5-blade flex fan. I don't think that's original. I don't know. It moves. Well, the fan moves, not the motor. Old charcoal canister. That's still in here. All the electronics are still in the back. Let's see if the wires are any good. If they're crunchified or chewed on. They don't look crunchy. Like, I don't know what that goes to. Figure that out. All the wrap is still here. Oh, that's not good. That's main harness just unplugged. Oh boy. In this box, this box looks like it melted behind it, and all the acid or whatever stuff that's in it seemed to have melted out of the back of this and went right down the firewall. And it's funny, I have seen that happen to at least 1 or 2 cars on Roadkill Garage, that whatever this is melted on them and did that very thing. This part, even though it's not all destroyed, it's not even burnt. Nothing in here looks burnt, but the fact that they have it unplugged and this little fuse pulled apart, this unplugged, is kind of scary.
got the old resistor there. Wiper motor. Oh, it's got power brakes. I did not know that. I really didn't look at this car since I got it home. No, not one Mopar I've ever owned has had power brakes. But I've always owned stuff a little bit older than 74. I'm gonna have to Google that, or someone could tell me. Was this standard, or did they have manual brakes as an option? Oh, it's got power steering. It's got power steering. The radiator is gone, but the guy gave it to me. It was in the back seat, and I pulled it out before we started filming. It has the condenser coil for the air conditioning still here. Well, look at it. It's still here. It's hanging on one bracket, but it's still here. The battery tray is, I mean, that's it. It's pretty typical of these cars. But what's underneath of it is honestly usually way worse than that. That's not even like soft. It's pretty, other than the battery tray itself, which that was it, and the where the bolts go through. I mean, oh, there's a little split there, or maybe that's a hole for the bolt. I don't know. It's not bad shape. Battery cables are there. Tiny little ground. That is I don't know what this thing is. A-body cars. It's got a new, that red wire has got to be the freshest looking thing on this car. Goes somewhere. Distributor is still here. Distributor's there. All the wires are there. Doesn't have headers or anything. No one modified this too much. The brake lines here aren't completely, they're not wet, so it's either empty and or if they're not rotten, they might actually come apart for me to replace this thing. And that's also looks like original Mopar part on there. Original Mopar replacement part. I'm seeing this here. That is, I believe, that is the kickdown linkage. That's no longer hooked to anything. Let's get this air cleaner out of the way. It's original air cleaner. Nope, it's an original style 2-barrel carburetor. It looks like a dinosaur in this spring. What a piece of junk. This hose, radiator hose, doesn't have a clamp on it or anything. That's fine. Let's see about this. Does it move? Oh, it moves. I don't know. That's nothing up top here moves, but that thing moves. Oh, that moves. I mean, it moves, but not freely by any means. I don't know what that's supposed to go to. There's a throttle cable, so it's still hooked to the throttle cable. But I don't know how this goes back on there. That can't be good. Looks like it would go right on this thing here. My battery died, so I'm back again. What we were looking at a minute ago was this kickdown linkage, or what I think, I mean, it goes to the transmission, I can see it right there. It's kind of connected to something, I don't know what it does, but I think that's what it is. But it's missing something. Maybe you guys can tell me or send me some links. I know a fair amount of, oh look, here we go, look at this thing. That is the same length as this. I can tell that right now. So that should be on here in some way, some fashion. I don't know why they took it off, but they did. And some sort of vacuum hose here, and another little dinky one there that's gone. Distributors there, coil, some weird modern electrical splicing mechanism. It's the original kind of blue 318 color, and I believe it is a 318. This fender tag here, there's not, the second one's gone, which is a shame. But can you all see that? I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I'll put some pictures of it close up on my Instagram. But it says it's a 318 car, B5 blue, AC, automatic. That's all I could get from it, but I didn't look at every single digit either. Let's get back into it here. The motor exhaust is hooked up. There's some hose here. Look at this. It's a positive, or it's red. It should be a positive cable. Do you see that? It is cut or chewed right through. And oh, that's the positive to the starter. Ugh, that's, I can't tell if an animal chewed that or if it was purposefully cut, but that's really bad. It's really bad. There's a brake distribution block with a little original style switch on it. I don't know where that, I don't see the other side of that cable. I feel like it should come up to the starter relay, right, friends? Shouldn't it go up to here? Shouldn't it go to the battery through this to that, down to the starter? But I don't see the rest of it. We got a mess here. We got a mess here, clearly. Shock tower looks good. The inner fender as a whole looks good. The firewall, some surface stuff, looks better than most cars, even up here, really. I was expecting this to be really bad. Well, it's not great, but it's not bad. Huh. Somewhere on those blocks it says 318. Let's see if I can find that. Forget where it... Yeah, it says G. I know you guys probably can't see it. My camera isn't seem to autofocus this close. It says GM318R on the block. I'm guessing that means it's a 318. And I thought these came with 2 barrels. To me that looks like a single barrel on like a slant 6, but I don't know. Actually, did they have 318 single barrels too? I don't know how to tell if that's a Holly or a Carter or any other weird brand. It says made in the USA. That's cool. Valve covers have been on there forever. There's no oil leak on this. I'll say that. Now, this car is dry. Either A, there's no fluids in it. Oh, there's that. There's either no fluids in it, so there's nothing to leak out. But these valve covers and everything underneath of it, and the exhaust and the block, nothing is oily on this car. Motor mount, K-frame down there. There's some hole into the firewall there, about the size of my thumb. I don't know what that goes to. Anyone know what that goes to? I have no idea. More electrical. Ground strap, not grounded. A green, which probably is a ground. That doesn't go. Oh, this is the blower motor. Ground strap, and this green, which isn't ground, would be, I guess, the hot for the heat, since it's only a single speed blower motor. But that isn't hooked up, and neither is this black and this green, which seem to go about the same area. Look at that. That green definitely is the male and the female. Those two go together. This black has a plug, and this black is just a ground strap. So I don't know. I don't know if I should attempt to get this thing to run before I decide to pull it out and start looking at motors, or if we can get it running, we just kind of give it a rehab while it's in the car and get it running. Typically what I like to do with Mopars is, or any cars, get it running and all new brakes, safety, make sure the car can run and stop, and the rest can happen slowly. But I think I need to get this up on jack stands and look underneath the car and go from there. All the headlight stuff is here. It's plugged in. You're seeing that right now. It's plugged in. It doesn't seem to be chewed on at all. I haven't seen any evidence of rodents chewing on this stuff anywhere. Everything seems to be here. It's just like, look at this thing. What is that? The inner fender? Not bolted at all to anything. Not bolted to look, I don't know what that piece of sheet metal is called, but it's not in there. Doesn't that one have one? This side either. Look, I don't know what that piece is called, friends, but it's not bolted to the thing. Alternator. That's from the 80s probably. One thing with this car, they gave me the original title and the bill of sale, and it's pretty cool because it was sold in 1974 in a town here in Maryland where I grew up. So it's a local car that got sold 2 or 3 times, and then a guy in Virginia had it, and that's who I got it from. And he seems to have all the paper trail and all the VIN numbers, and everything seems to line up. It is a piece of junk. Probably why we got a really good deal on it, because it's a piece of junk. I don't know what else to show you right now until I get the car up on jack stands. Oh, look at the carburetor thing bolted down. You guys see that? Oh, it doesn't move. That's not even bolted down. Oh, there's a screw in that vacuum line. That one probably goes there. I don't know. But nothing, this is odd because nothing's greasy or oily or wet or nothing. Let's look at this brake. Let's have bets here. Is there going to be anything in this, underneath of this thing? Yeah. Nope. I mean, not even sludge. So that's good. But well, the front one's wet, at least. But the back one looks like it's so clean. It looks like someone cleaned it out, wiped it out, perfectly clean to eat off of, and the front's got a little drip left. So we're clearly have leaks somewhere. Probably brake cylinders, I don't know. Oh, we didn't look here. Did look is a disc brake car. It is. Man, I don't know. I've never had a Mopar with disc brakes. Never had a Mopar with power brakes. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's part of the caliper that looks like it has become one with the rotor. But it is a disc brake car. And this wheel does match the other side. Here's the inner fender here. Again, a lot of surface rust stuff, but nothing rotted. There's that inner fender panel is brand new. So that front valance and that piece and that chrome bumper are brand new, and the front fenders are somewhat new. I don't know what that goes to. That can't be right. Am I supposed to, this probably has one of those rubber plastic things that snap in to keep the water out of there, and you remove it to work on stuff. It does have a starter in there, and it does have that red wire that is chopped off. You see the trans. My guess is a 727, but I don't want to assume that. Here's front frame, rail extensions, and again, they don't surface rust. I mean, it's old, but not any holes or cracks. Like I said, not even where these holes, whatever these are. A lot of times I would see these would rust, and then that hole would become a hole this big around and falling apart. Oh my gosh, I just saw this. This other front fender isn't bolted at all. Is there nothing to bolt it to behind there? There's some sort of hole. Oh, there's 2 square holes. They don't line up. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. That is... I don't know what to say to that, really. I mean, the holes are there, so it's not like it's rotted, but maybe this is one of those. They installed this fender, and then they had 2 bolts left over, wondering where they went. The camera doesn't want to fit up in here very good. You can see bottom of the transmission and the cross member. The drive shaft, as we know, is out of the car because it's in the back seat. Bottom swing arms, I mean, they look better than most cars I've looked at and owned. Frame is really shockingly good shape. I wonder if it only spent half its life outside rusting, and then the other half got put away or in a carport or something. I'm not sure. There's the exhaust. Huh. Well, this is it for this video, y'all. I'll do a separate video for the underside of the car, because I got to get this up on jack stands. Or maybe I'll do another video and then splice it with this one. Look at that bumper is so shiny. I feel like I should get off this car quickly and sell it, because it just does not belong in this car. Alright, friends. Let's see here. This camera is not good at this. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. You can send me any links or ideas or thoughts, or tell me what I'm doing wrong. That's okay too. And I'll get this thing under some jack stands and do a video underneath the car. We'll just tie it into this one. Thanks for watching. Me and my son got it jacked up and on these Harbor Freight truck jack stands. Even at their lowest setting, it's really high. I don't think I'll feel good about taking it much higher than that, but maybe if I need to later. We're now inside the car. We took out the bottom seat, seeing if we could find the build sheet, and it wasn't there. So we're trying to take the back seat out. And Mr. Ryder, say hi, Ryder.
Hey.
Well, you got to turn around and wave or something.
Mr. Ryder's pulling out the bolts so we can take the back seat out. And we're going to try to send him through the trunk to see if he can get the trunk open or remove whatever's stuck back there.
I can't get it.
You can't? Come on, you got it, man.
Some things.
Hey, Ryder, what did we find when we pulled the back seat out?
Stuff we need to fix the car.
What did we find?
A whole gas tank.
We found a whole brand new gas tank still in the box in the trunk, along with the original gas tank straps, which I don't know if we'll reuse those, and a whole bunch of metal parts back there.
Yeah, probably more stuff.
And it's all jammed up, keeping the trunk lid from opening. So we're gonna try
boxes back there.
There are more boxes? Well, we got to get this trunk open. Yeah. See what goodies we got in there, huh? No, we can't cut that. Do you know why we can't cut that?
It holds the car together.
It's part of the frame of the car. Yeah, it's not just the support for the back seat. It holds the car together. A lot of people make a mistake and cut that out. It's no good. Yeah, it's the old sticky stuff. All right, let's try and dig it out, huh?